Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm basically going to be sharing my opinions on the books that are very popular but I just didn't like. This is no hate to the author, no hate to if you do like the book. I know loads of people do like these books, that's why they're popular, and everyone has different opinions. I just wanted to share mine. I've not actually got that many, like I've not, most books I read, like sometimes I'm like, I didn't love it, I didn't really like it that much, but like I don't hold anything against it, like I don't dislike them, I just didn't thoroughly enjoy them. But we're starting it off with probably the most popular, yeah, I'd say the most popular, the most widely popular, and that is the Dreamland Billionaire series. I remember buying this and being so excited because aren't the covers beautiful? They are so gorgeous. This is the prettiest series I own by far. The books just didn't pull through for me. I'm going to start off with the fine print. Honestly, yeah, as well. I didn't even like the fine print, so I don't know what possessed me to read the rest of the series, but I was like, surely it gets better. It didn't. So the fine print is about Rowan and Zara. She is basically, the whole series is about three brothers, and they are set tasks to receive the inheritance from their grandfather, and their grandfather like owned a theme park which was kind of like Disney World. But yeah, so it's about Rowan, whose task is to basically get control of the theme park, and I can't really remember, he had to like change something about the park and like make it better. I don't really know. And then Zara, who's worked at the park for, I don't know if it's Zahara or Zara, I've just said Zara the whole time, sorry if it's wrong, who's worked at the park like most of her life, and her family has as well, and she basically submits an idea and then they start working together, and he likes her and she likes him, and there's also like they text each other but she doesn't know it's him. It just gave nothing. Like I felt like the whole time I was reading this book I was like, when does this get good? I didn't like either of the characters. Rowan was tolerable. He was tolerable. Like he's grumpy, like all of the men in these books are supposed to be grumpy, but like there wasn't anything redeeming about him, do you know what I mean? Like he was sweet sometimes, but he wasn't like, I don't know, enough to be that grumpy. But he's probably the most tolerable out of the three men, I'm gonna say. Actually no, Cal is definitely the most tolerable, but I'll get on to why I didn't like that book. And Zara, I just didn't like her. I just did not like her. I don't know what it was. She was just very, I'm so quirky, I'm so different. I don't know. There was just, I felt like there was absolutely no chemistry between them at all. Like I felt like they were just too, I felt like they were acting. Like I was just watching two people that weren't even good actors act. I wasn't watching it, I was reading it, but that's what I felt like. And it just felt like nothing happened throughout the whole book. Like nothing happened, and then we got to the end and it was like this random thing happened, and I thought, I'm not gonna say what it was, but it's not really a spoiler because you can't really spoil it. Like nothing happened that was that important to be spoiled, do you know what I mean? But I'm not gonna say it. But something happens to Zara at the end of the book and it was like, what? Like so random, so far-fetched, and it was just so like, it was like Lauren Asher got to the end of the book and was like, oh yeah, nothing's happened, has it? And then just threw something in really quick. So I didn't like this book. It was hard to get through. I was reading it like, when is something gonna happen? When is something gonna happen? But I will say all of these books are pretty inside and out, just not the writing. There is spice in all these books. They are spicy books. The spice wasn't even that good. Like, do you know what I mean? It was just kind of like, that's happening. I'm gonna finish it off with that one because I just didn't like it. It was just boring to me. That was it. So with Lauren Asher's writing, I just think I don't get along with her writing either. I've not tried any of her other books, but these are like her newest books, so you'd think her writing would be best in these. So I don't really want to try like her older books because surely the writing's worse. Do you know what I mean? So next we have Terms and Conditions. I will say, looking back, Terms and Conditions was my favourite book, if you can really even call it that. It was the one I hated least. So this one is about Declan and Iris. It's like a marriage of convenience trope. Declan was like really grumpy and mad all the time, and like just kept ruining everything for no reason. Like, just was like so like, just such a man. Do you know what I mean? Such a like, I'm always right, I know what I'm doing man. So he was annoying. But Iris, I liked Iris. I did really like Iris. I thought she was cute. She was strong-minded. She was just a good character. But yeah, basically again, not much happens in this book. Don't remember the ending, if I'm being completely honest with you. I don't know what happened. They go on this like trip. They go on, what do they do a safari. That was probably the most enjoyable part of the book, just because I thought it was fun. Do you know what I mean? That's a fun thing to do, go on a safari. But yeah, I think the safari saved it for me, this book. It made it my least hated because it was fun. I enjoyed the safari for the 5 chapters it lasted. And also you saw Iris and Cal's friendship in this book, which I did like. That was also something I liked about this book. I felt that their banter was really good. They had a really good friendship. They had more chemistry than any of the other characters in the book. These two had no chemistry either, really. Like, no, nothing. I didn't root for them. I didn't want them to be together. Like, just nothing. Iris and Cal, they actually had like banter, chemistry. Like, you could feel that. I got connected to them as a friendship. But then they basically pretty much just threw that out of the window in Final Offer. Like, where was their friendship in Final Offer? Just a text message now and again. That was it, really. So Final Offer, I really thought, because of what I'd seen of Cal in Terms and Conditions, this was going to be my favourite. Like, I was convinced I was actually going to like this one. Like, I was like, I've just battled through the last 2 books. This one's going to be it. I hated it. I hated this one more than the others 2. I didn't finish this one. I couldn't finish it. I got to about 60% through and I was just like, do you know what? All this book is doing is angering me. Like, it's not worth my time to finish it. I liked Cal. In this book, I still liked Cal. He was nice. He was, basically, in this book, it shows that he struggled with alcoholism. And he goes back, his task from his grandfather was to go back to their lake house and try and sell it. But basically, what goes back and realises that his childhood best friend / lover is living there with a kid. So then they basically work with each other to like try and sell the house, even though it was so obvious they were never going to sell the house. Like, I didn't even read the end. I don't know if they sold the house or not, but I'm pretty much sure that they didn't sell the house and they lived in the house together. I didn't like Lana, I think, I don't know. Didn't like her. I just really, I couldn't relate to her at all. Like, it was just the way everybody in this book bullied Cal. Like, they literally just bullied him. Like, he didn't get an ounce of respect from anyone, and all he did was show respect. Like, there were times where he did struggle with his alcoholism, but no one was helping him. Like, no one was helping him. Like, no one was being like, we hear you, we see you have an addiction, we're trying to help you. They would just straight up bully him. It's like, hold on, you haven't seen this man. He's a man, he's a grown man, by the way, since he was a boy, and you're taking that and you're just rolling with it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're just rolling with what he did when he was 18 or whatever it was. I can't remember. Look, I didn't want Cal and Lana to end up together. Like, I didn't like her. I felt like she was, like, I understood that she had a child that she had to provide for and had to keep safe, but it was like so obvious that Cal just needed a little bit of help, just a little bit of comfort. He decided he wanted to go to rehab because he wanted to get better for Lana. You should want to get better for yourself, but whatever. Lana's child, Cammy, was redeeming. She was the only redeeming thing for this book. She was cute. She was nice. Don't really usually like children in books. I didn't really that much this time, but she was the only person that was nice to Cal. So, just leaving that there. But like, it's not even like he deserved it. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't understand why she kept, like, why Lauren Asher just kept making all the people in the town hate him. Like, what did he actually do? He like broke up with her like 10 years ago. Get over it. Do you know what I mean? It just felt so absurd. Like, you don't act like that. No one acts like that. I'm just gonna quit talking about it because all it's doing is making me angry thinking about it. I know a lot of people are big Dreamland Billionaires fans and love Lauren Asher, but I just couldn't get it. I just felt like nothing happened, no chemistry, and it was just like, it really, like, I think I was so angry about it as well because I so wanted to like them. Like, I was convinced that I was gonna love these books, and I just didn't. Next author we have is Colleen Hoover. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? So the first book I'm going to talk about is Ugly Love. I haven't got the physical copy because I sold it for £1 on Vinted. I would have sold it for 20p because honestly that's what it's worth. That is what it's worth. Ugly Love is honestly just one of the most weirdest books I've read. Like, I walked into that book expecting cute romance. It was just a nightmare. Like, I literally walked into a nightmare. But like, I thought I was gonna love Ugly Love. I did not. I like came out of that book thinking, what have I just read? It's like brother's best friend. She moves in with her brother, and her brother and his friend are like pilots. And then she starts sleeping with him and seeing him, but then he's got some backstory, and he calls her his ex's name in bed, and his ex is actually his stepsister. If you don't want to hear spoilers, skip to whatever time I've just put in front of you because I'm going to spoil this book, I don't care. And he killed his kid. He didn't kill his kid, that sounds really bad, but like, he manslaughtered his kid basically. He didn't mean to kill his kid, but his kid died. Like, he had a kid with his stepsister and then it died. And that was all his trauma, like. But like, there was no chemistry between, I can't even remember what the main character was called. I remember he was called Miles. I can't remember her name. I honestly can't remember it for the life of me. But there was no chemistry between them. They were just like sleeping together, like randomly. Like, it wasn't interesting. Like, they ended up together, but I was like, why though? Why do you want to be with him? I'd run. I'd actually run about 10 miles. Next book by Colleen Hoover is Never Never. This is also by Taryn Fisher. I don't understand, like, did they like swap chapters, or what was the writing style of these? Like, do you know what? I didn't get it. This book, I spoke about it in my March wrap up because I read it in March. I actually was enjoying it. Like, I was enjoying it most of the book. I finished it in a day. Like, that's how much I was like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen. And then it got to the ending and I was like, this is the biggest waste of my time. Ending was just like, what? It just seemed like the biggest cop out. Like, I wanted something interesting. I wanted something that would tie up everything. That tied up nothing, and it was so boring, and it was so just stupid. Like, it was just a stupid ending, and it ruined the whole book for me. Like, the characters in this book definitely did not like each other enough for it. If you read the book, that will make sense. If you didn't, it didn't. So next up we have is The Midnight Library. So this one I didn't really know whether or not I wanted to include because I don't have strong feelings towards it. I felt like the premise for this book was actually quite interesting. I started it and I was like, actually, this is quite cool. Like, she goes into a library and she picks out bits of her life that could have been, and she goes into it and lives for it for a bit. Was interested by that, and it started getting interested, and then it just started, like, even though every life she went into was a different one, it just started to get more repetitive and more depressing. So I got to page 160 before I DNF'd it, apparently. It didn't keep my interest, and it was so depressing. Like, I don't know if it was just me that found it really depressing, but it was to me. Our last book is The Spanish Love Deception, and oh my god, look at the tabbing on that. Why on earth did I tab this book, and why did I do it like that? I think the premise is kind of interesting, but I didn't like her character. I liked his character, but I didn't really like her. I didn't mind it. I liked the kind of like slow burn, and then like kind of, do they like each other, do they not? Like, I was enjoying that. And then like near the end bit where they like figure out that they like each other and they get together, and then it was like, what? They like in my mind they started acting completely differently, and I was like, actually these people don't belong together. The bits I enjoyed about this book is the kind of workplace romance, and then her going to, I think it was her sister's wedding, and him being her fake date. That was interesting. But like, other than that, it just wasn't it. I didn't enjoy it. Like, it just wasn't great. It's not the greatest writing. It's not like it just could have been better. That is all the books. It's not many, I know. I was gonna include some others in here, but then I thought actually, because I did enjoy reading them to an extent, like I just don't hold any like dislike. There wasn't things that I disliked about it, do you know what I mean? I just didn't thoroughly enjoy it. Once again, if you like these books, I'm not judging you. Like, I can understand why you like these books, but I just couldn't get them at all. And also, no hate to any of the authors. Obviously, I've read other Clean Hoover books and I did like them, so I'm definitely not the best Coho girly, but I'm not saying all of her books are horrible, and I'm definitely not saying Lauren Asher's books are horrible either. So many people enjoy them, so that must mean they are good. They're just not for me. And I've not read anything else by these two, but Elena R. Masters have another book that people did like. I'm not sure what he has. How to Stop Time in the Humans is on the back of this one, but I'm sure they're good. I think this is a good book, but it just was so depressing for me. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you all soon. Bye bye.